About to.
Alabama 1st and 10 on the 12. Again, Houston. He's got a hole. He's over. Alabama touchdown.
I'm just wondering if your listeners know how good a football player you were. I can still see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way. I believe I could have run behind.
Martin, I can remember when we came to summer and you playing fullback up there. And I saw you in the weight room. If you could pick up, you were strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I wanted to pick it, and I run it back to the biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Radio Dial, the Martin Houston Show fan page on Facebook. Welcome in on this Thursday edition of the Martin Houston Show. Remember that this is a day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. Well, got big news breaking. It is finally here. Name, image, and likeness. That is the conversation that we'd like to have with you. So let's open up those phone lines. 205-342-9904. 205-342-9904. The Taco Casa hotline is open for business. Go check out Taco Casa for lunch and or dinner. Great option there. Taco Casa, tacocasa.com. Other topics we can talk about, of course, is the deadline for transferring without losing a year of eligibility is up on us. I'm not sure if they had to be in the portal by yesterday or if they have until today. But either way, Alabama making news in that arena with the decision yesterday. I got a couple poll questions up that necessarily not going to get into today, but to start this conversation with name, image, and likeness. So go out to @MartinHouston35, @MartinHouston35 on Twitter, asking you the following question. One is, which top sport athlete, not the athlete, but which top sports top athletes will make the most money? Is football going to benefit the most? Is basketball, men's basketball? What about softball or gymnastics? Are they in the running? Will the top athletes from those sports, and this not just talking about Alabama, but any sports, any college, and then also within last year, taking a review back last year, if name, image, and likeness was a thing this time last year, which 2020, 2021 athlete on Alabama's campus would have made the most money? And of course, there was a lot to choose from, but I narrowed it down to just a handful. Of course, Devontae Smith, Najee Harris, Mac Jones, and Montana Fouts, the four that I gave. You may want to throw in Waddle, may have made more than all of them. You may have Patrick Surtain. There could be several that could have made that list, but you can only get 4 options on Twitter. So, but I thought that we got one early reply to it that throws in another whole money source that we haven't really talked much about, that will be more difficult for football players to take advantage of while softball players and basketball players even potentially may be able to get even more out of it on a one-to-one basis. So we'll see. We'll talk about that. You're welcome to get your comments, thoughts in there once again. Houston 3-5. I did want to give a shout out to a guy that we hadn't talked about in quite a while. Joe, Alabama has so many guys in the pros that you forget some of these guys are in the pros, and and he'd been the starter for 9 of the past 11 seasons. And only time he wasn't starting was when he had 2 injuries and was a 9-time Pro Bowler and 2-time All-Pro. So we'll see. And then one of the guys competing for the position was released last week. That'd be awesome to see Hassanir leading the way for Najee Harris at center, and Nick Saban putting guys in the pros that totally forget about. So, any thoughts or comments on that for Hassanir?
Washington previously, so it's very good to see a guy like Hassanir keeping getting paid, doing what he likes to do, playing some football.
Yeah, that's the key. Keep getting paid, baby. And talking about getting paid, Joe, it's finally here. Name, image, and likeness, coming off the heels of unlimited benefits, free transfer. COVID was good to college football players. Figured I'd just give COVID credit for COVID. Has been blamed for everything else. I figured I'd give COVID credit for the changes in college football. Is it not amazing, Joe, how much college football changed in 1 year? To the benefit of the players. If you go back and look, in one season, in one calendar year, have unlimited educational benefits. Or the colleges can't limit intentionally and on purpose limit educational benefits. So that part is for the student side for the football player. Okay. Then you had transfer rule. And how many times have you thought or said to yourself, a 17-year-old kid is having to make a lifelong decision, and stuck with that decision based off of being shown the world on a couple visits and then on a weekend where he gets a dog and pony show and sees the best that a school has to offer. And then when he gets there, if he doesn't fit, he can't leave. If the coaches make a decision to leave, he can't leave. If they change an offensive system or a defensive system, the player couldn't leave. Now they can, and should say they couldn't leave. They couldn't leave without being, punished and having to sit out for a year. And now they can do that. And last but not least, name, image, and likeness is upon us. We're going to go through the advantage Nick Saban and the crew, Greg Burns and the crew, coming up with, I think, the absolute perfect name for how they plan to use name, image, and likeness as the advantage. Which one of those three, Joe, is the biggest change as far as across the board application to all athletes?
You've got the Nick Saban and the Greg Burns advantage. You have name, image, likeness. What was the
unlimited educational benefits and free transfer, get out of jail free card one time. Which one of those three changes applies to the most athletes? Which one not which one is going to have the necessarily the biggest impact, but which one of those do you think will be taken advantage of the most by the players?
Oh, definitely. Okay, I'm with you. The name, image, and likeness, I think, will be taken advantage of by the most players, because if you think about the transfer portal or the 1 year transfer, a lot of other sports, specifically softball comes to mind, already had a free transfer policy. I believe it was football and basketball that did not the free transfer policy. So that you're opening up a lot more athletes to have name, image, and likeness. Your softball athletes, your gymnasts, your football, your little things like as big as national commercials and as small as little local car dealerships or little signings at a restaurant or appearances at a restaurant. So I think the name, image, and likeness will be taken advantage of and utilized by the by the broadest spectrum of college athletes.
Yeah, and think about that. And then I think the one that would be used the most next would be the unlimited educational benefits, being able to, get those additional education is probably going to be so that for a second, Joe, when transfer unlimited, one free transfer, when that happened, that was like, oh my God, that's going to be just chaotic for college football. Now it would be at least probably the third biggest change this year so far. You see what I'm saying? Think about a sport as established as college football having that many major changes in one calendar year. And when it was named and how it was named, we thought that would be one of the most disruptive and utilized things that we've seen in college football. And it will be impacting probably the least number of players, period, moving forward of the three big changes this year. But it has impacted Alabama again. Just give us a highlight. You wrote a story yesterday on Tide109.com. Give us an update on Alabama's linebacker King Wakuda in his most recent decision.
Oh yeah, King Makuta entered the transfer portal yesterday, as you mentioned off the top of the show. You got to be in the transfer portal either yesterday or today. I'm not quite sure the specifics. I would have imagined it was probably last night at midnight. But anyhow, Makuta is in the transfer portal. He's played in 20 games. I believe, over the last 2 years for the Crimson Tide, mostly on special teams. But he's been kind of an edge rusher spell guy, and you know how packed we are at edge rusher, Martin. That that is a highly competitive position. So he's probably going off to look for a place where he can probably step in and contribute and take the majority of those reps.
Yeah, just off the cuff, not even thinking about necessarily the depth chart. Just the names that jump out from the spring and past season. Chris Allen coming back. Will Anderson, I'm sure, has taken the next step. Drew Sanders had flashes this past fall. And then Chris Braswell was kind of, to me, one of the bright spots in the spring. So that's not even counting some of the other guys that have, got themselves into that conversation. So I wish him nothing but the best. I do not begrudge players when they feel like they have a better opportunity to go somewhere else. I just hope that he finds a good landing place and able to pursue both his college education and his dreams of playing college football at a high level. So to him, I think there was another defensive line that I think he may have been walk on. I don't remember his name. Eichner was another kid that went into the portal on yesterday. Coming back on the other side, we're going to talk a little bit about name, image, and likeness. Of course, we have Hank South 247 Sports coming up in the fourth quarter. Love to get your thoughts and comments. As I said, there's so much conversation around this that we will not get to it all today. Probably be talking about it right up until kickoff this season. But you're listening to the Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9, your home for Alabama sports.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, no wrecks, just a few slow spots. McFarland at US 43 and also at Merlin. Skyland slow out at 2059. If you see other conditions, just give us a call. Townsend Nissan has an awesome selection of new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Go check them out. You'll save thousands. I'm Captain Ray.
This is a big deal. Now at healthcare.gov, millions more people can get affordable health coverage. Due to the COVID relief law, 4 out of 5 customers can get a plan for under $10 a month with financial help. From doctor visits to preventive services to prescription drugs, these are quality plans. You can do this. You can have coverage as soon as August 1st if you sign up now at healthcare.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Spark the savings at JCPenney's 4th of July sale now through Sunday. Get up to 50% off select furniture, mattresses, and window coverings during our home sale. Plus, save on hundreds of doorbusters across the store for the entire family. Save even more on select styles with an extra 25% off coupon. Celebrate every summer moment with JCPenney. Offers and coupon valid through 7/4. Doorbusters valid 7/1 through 7/4. Some exclusions apply. Furniture, mattresses, and window coverings limited to 10% off coupon. See store or jcp.com for details.
Celebrate the 4th of July with a bang with fireworks from Extreme Fireworks. Extreme Fireworks is not a fireworks stand. They're a fireworks superstore with over 450 products in store and 30 different brands. Everything is 50% off. Buy one, get one free, or buy one and get 3 free. Online purchase and curbside pickup is available. Mention this ad and get $10 off a $50 purchase or more. Shop the best selection of fireworks in West Alabama at Extreme Fireworks, 3.5 miles west of the Northport Super Walmart.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Another warm, humid day today with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Scattered showers and thunderstorms around through tonight. The high today 88, the low tonight 70. Tomorrow, cloudy with periods of rain and a few thunderstorms, the high at 81. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 71 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Scott Smith and Sophomart Design, doing business for 17 plus years, specializing in graphic design services, commercial printing, promotional products, advertising specialties, and so much more. Basically, any and everything you would need to advertise, promote, and grow your business. Through strong partnerships, strong customer service, and creative ideas, they'll help you market and grow your business. Give Scott a call at 205-292-4680 or email scottis@comcast.net and visit them online at sophmartdesign.com.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
All right, welcome back into the Martin Houston Show, and during the break, I got a little text from producer Mr. Joe Gaither, and the first shot across the bow in the name, image, and likeness, Joe, came from which Alabama athlete? Well,
looks like one Bo Nix from the University, from Auburn University. Right. Looks like Bo Nix has secured a deal with Milo Sweet Tea.
That's a pretty good deal, man. I mean, that's going to kind of be probably, even though Milo's may sell outside, they're a nice company, very regional in that sweet tea, but that's a pretty big deal, and that's why I tell people, don't assumes it's going to be about Alabama, just the brand Alabama. It's going to be relationships. It's going to be family connections. It's, and not trying to be funny. There were people in my little small hometown, Joe, that give you an example. I couldn't do it when I played, right? Because it was illegal. But as soon as I graduated, I went to a local car dealer and worked out a deal for a car. And that's the types of deals I think you're going to begin to see. It's not necessarily going to be all of these big national deals, because a lot of the national deals that are in Alabama dealers, smaller dealers will have made that particular move. So let me see. We have Virgil Williams making a comment. He says, big news for basketball team. Primo is officially going to the NBA and has hired an agent. Shackelford has his name in the draft, now has entered it into the transfer portal as well. Had you heard that about Shackelford?
That is from last night. Yes, Josh Primo basically confirming that he's going to stay in the and Jaden Shackelford entering his name into the transfer portal. So yeah, a little breaking news on the Alabama basketball side yesterday.
Yeah,
not necessarily good for the fan, but good for the players.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely can't blame Shackelford, but I mean, Primo Shackelford. Surprised, not surprised, good move or not at this point?
I'm a little surprised, definitely. It makes me think that maybe Nimri Burnett, and J.D. Davison, and Javon Quinterly are all playing very well right now, maybe making Jaden Shackelford a little concerned about where he's going to fit in on this 2021 team. But, yeah, it's a little surprising, and hopefully Coach Nate Oates can re-recruit him back to the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I think he's definitely the rest of what Virgil said was Primo, good for him. Hate to see him go, but hope he does well. Not sure what's going on with Shackelford. He'd be one of Alabama go-to guys for Bama. So why with where Alabama? I mean, I could see in times past, Joe, maybe him jumping out because you wouldn't get the exposure that you normally would. But come draft night, Alabama could have 3 guys in those first 2 rounds for sure, and then you fast forward into the season, and you're going to be playing possibly as many national games as some of the big boys in the SEC. So I tend to think either homesickness, if he ends up back in California, homesickness possibly, and people don't think about that side from these players' standpoint. But also the other side is you just hit it. The competition may have ramped up because that's what happens, Joe. When you become good, Alabama football players are used to having to battle it out with the best players and knowing that the guy behind them may be better than the guys playing and starting on all the other teams that they're playing against. So in football, and that's a new thing in basketball. So we'll keep our eyes on that story. We'll get back to name, image, and likeness. Lots to get to, but here's just a few things, Joe, we'll kind of run through really quick that the advantage does. Nick Saban. Every time I think about that name, Joe, I go, what a brilliant name. Name, image, and likeness. You and I have said it numerous times, is this is going to give an advantage to certain teams, right? So Nick Saban and, I say Nick Saban, Greg Burns, Nick Saban, and the other coaches come up with the advantage. And here's some of the information that governs that along with state law. They tied these things in with state law, but then added a few to protect themselves as well. Employees of the university may not compensate or arrange any deals to a current or prospective student athlete for his or her name, image, or likeness. I wonder who's going to be the first coach that makes that mistake, Joe, because that's kind of what has gotten coaches in trouble in the past when they were brokering deals to get players. That's kind of was the cardinal sin. If an alumni and a booster cheated, that was bad. But if it was orchestrated by a coach, like death penalty, not death penalty because a lot didn't get that, but it was very severe and usually meant immediate dismissal for the coach involved. So compensation will be commensurate with market value. Someone asked me, so what does that mean? It means that a guy can't go get a job and have no skill set and go get a job as an architect and make, 6 figures sitting behind the desk and paid as an architect for that firm. That's kind of what that means. If they don't have the skill set, they're not going to be able to just get a job and be hired on and make whatever. Now I know, Joe, that this happens some. There are there are jobs right now that players get, and they get paid as high as some of the top people. I think that will be watched even more now with this. And you can come in at any point you want on any of this, Joe. It is not permissible for compensation to be provided in exchange for athletic performance or attendance at the university. So you can't give me $20,000 to come play for the University of Alabama. But could you say, if you happen to be a player at the University of Alabama, Joe, I'll be glad to sign you on with my team, with my company. How you think they get around that one?
Yeah, I think that if you go, I think that you can kind of promise these endorsement deals or these employment opportunities as incentive. Now, you're not going to straight up say, "Here's $20,000 to play for the University of Alabama," but when you do get to campus, we can work out one of these deals for $20,000. So you're not directly paying them for play, but I guess it has to do with the timing of when those deals are struck. It's kind of ambiguous because I can say, "Hey, Martin, I'm not going to pay you to come to Alabama, but once you do, I've got all these opportunities lined up for you." It's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, because if I'm out there, all I'm going to say is, I'm going to sign the next superstar at Alabama to a deal. I didn't say I'm going to sign you. If it's known that the ABC company supports Alabama athletes, then that will be known. It will be known who's going to deal, who's going to play in this arena. Another thing, compensation can come in the form of money, goods, and services. So there's really, as far as the compensation side, directly to the players and deals, one off with the players, they really have a wide open slate with a few exceptions around like tobacco, adult entertainment, and some of those things, which is also governed in the state law that the university can kind of protect itself and protect these athletes in certain areas. But for the most part, they can go out and get just about anything they wanted. Here's one thing. We're not going to get into these, but Joe, some people don't understand. Contracts for compensation cannot extend beyond participation as a student athlete at the University of Alabama. When we were talking earlier, Ryan and I, there was some confusion or not full understanding of what that meant and why that's there. We'll talk more about that, but we have to go to break here to get to Hank South 247 Sports, Bama Online Recruiting. I love to see what he's hearing from the players and whether or not he's heard, or whether or not it's even dropped down to the high school ranks as far as the name, image, likeness conversation. And if you missed it early on, first known or publicized endorsement in the state of Alabama doesn't come from the University of Alabama, but Bo Nix across the state, quarterback for the Auburn Tigers, proud to be sponsoring Milo's Tea. Who's next? What's the next deal? We'll break it right here on the Martin Houston Show. Coming back, we'll catch up with Hank South 247 Sports, Bama Online Recruiting.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, no wrecks, just a few slow spots. McFarland at US 43 and also at Merlin. Skyland slow out at 2059. If you see other conditions, just give us a call. Townsend Nissan has an awesome selection of new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Go check them out. You'll save thousands. I'm Captain Ray.
Hello, this is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors, Overflow Express Wash. Their mission is to provide great customer service with a showroom clean car and an exceptional customer service experience. They have the basic car wash that starts at $7, but you need to check out the premium wash packages, which start as low as $12 and go up to $20. They also have a membership wash club that you can get for starting at $23.99, going up to $39.99. In other words, just double the regular premium package, drop a penny, and you can be one of the great members of Overflow Express Wash. My family and I keep our cars looking good inside and out by using Overflow Express Wash. They're located on Skyland Boulevard right next door to Alabama 1, or you can find them online at overflowexpresswash.com. Andy Phillips and his team look forward to making you a part of their team.
Power your passions during Dell's Black Friday in July event with up to $400 off the latest Dell XPS computers and Alienware systems, all powered by Intel Core processors. Save on top brand electronics, plus free shipping on everything. Just call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
The great Gap sales started at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. Shop styles up to 75% off, plus long weekend deals including flip-flops from $3, tees and tanks from $6, dresses from $12, and more. Shop it all through July 5th at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. Now at Banana Republic Factory, celebrate summer with 50 to 70% off everything. Shop effortless dresses, airy shirts, and more from $9.99. Find your nearest store or shop online, only at Banana Republic Factory.
Nick Saban calls it the process. John Maxwell said that everything rises and falls on it. And Coach Wooden said it's what you learn after you think you know it all that makes the difference. What am I talking about? Leadership and personal development. Is your organization, your school, your church, your family, are they receiving the proper level of leadership development and personal development? If not, the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring can help you with that. We have our Pep Talks, which is a 1 to 1.5 hour lunch and learn, which we can customize to meet your needs, or we have some topics that we present that we know can help your organization. And if you're looking for one-on-one mentoring and coaching, we can also assist you with that. Visit peptalks35.com, that's peptalks35.com, or send an email to martin@martinhouston.org. That's the Empowerment Center for Leadership and Mentoring.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your on Bama Sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
All right, Martin, you're on 3, 2, 1.
All right. Hey, Joe, I went out and looked at the Instagram for Bo Nix. It's going to be a new world for these players, man. They are, he's getting reamed, he's getting praised, he's getting talked about, and now someone accused him of a violation already. It's 6:34 in the a.m. This post went up 6 hours ago, so that post had to have been waiting right at 6 o'clock. Will it be a violation if you negotiated the deal before it was official? If he negotiated this deal at 11:59, is that a violation? I'm just. That's what some fan is accusing him of, that this was a done deal before name, image, and likeness was available. So we'll see. It's going to be a change, Joe. It's going to be a change, but we'll talk about that conversation as it continues to evolve. Let's bring in Hank South, 247 Sports, Bama Online Recruiting. Good morning, Hank. How you doing, sir?
Hey, good morning, Mark. I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, man. So glad you've chosen to join us. We got a lot of news from last weekend with the big recruiting visit, the big news or no news regarding JTT and what happened there. But before we do that, have you heard, or are the players at the high school ranks talking any about this name, image, and likeness?
Yeah, that's part of kind of the new recruiting pitch is, how each school's going to, I guess, package that into their, what they offer. Obviously, the schools it's totally separate of, schools can't pay you to come there, but, how can they, what do they have in place to, like, help guide you through, how you're going to be able to take advantage of this, and, what will help you through that. So, that's part of it. The recruits talking about, I know some of the recruits been tweeting, because that kind of viral tweet's been going around for the last week or 2 weeks, where it's, the NCAA is now allowing us to, the name, image, likeness, but recruits are tweeting it, and it's not for the recruits, it's for the kids that are already on campus, enrolled at Alabama, or enrolled at their school, wherever they're at. I think if, like, recruits start getting name, image, likeness, it might be a violation, like, affect their eligibility at the high school level. I'm still,
Well, see, that's
also do.
that was a question I had. Is there does the high school ranks have a name, image, and likeness violation, or was it that you couldn't do it for high school because they would lose their college eligibility?
Yeah, I'm not totally sure, but I know that one of our reporters, 24/7, said, high school kids can't take advantage of this yet. You have to be an NCAA thing. So he was like, don't affect your eligibility by trying to already, jump in on this. So,
but it was,
I don't know.
But it was a violation because the NCAA said you couldn't get any benefit. It wasn't a violation because of high school.
Okay.
From my understanding, and I've been asking that question, and I have not been able to find an answer, because the NCAA, I mean, I don't ever remember there being a meeting or anything from a coach standpoint. The reason a coach or a high school couldn't do anything for a student is because it would damage, their ability to go to said college, and they would become ineligible. So it would be interesting to see if the state of Alabama and if high school associations have rules that say, because no one who's ever been worried about a high school player on the high school level, on the state level, getting name, image, likeness endorsements. It really hadn't been that big a deal. But now recruiting is a national, business. And these high schoolers that's 4 and 5 stars and all of the camps and things like that. Some of these high school players, not some of them, a lot of them are better known than some of the top players across the nation than when I played. So it'll be interesting. We'll move off of that, but it's interesting that they're passing that around. I have not seen that tweet, but I guess we'll have to figure that answer out at some point.
It's going to be a learning thing for the next little bit. And I'm excited to see what all happens today. With all these, with it officially in play now, and who's doing what. So we'll see.
Bo Nix we just broke it here a little while ago. Bo Nix 6 hours ago posted him with a picture of a Milo's tea. And by the way, Joe, I said that it's more of a regional company, and someone tweeted in there, well, I'm in Washington State, and they sell it out here. So I guess Milo's is not just it's more national than even I thought. I knew they sold in other places, but Washington is pretty much about as far away as you can get besides Alaska. So he may have got his first national deal. Let me ask you a question about this weekend. Shocked that JTT canceled, and did the name, image, and likeness potential opportunities from Oregon have anything to do with it?
No, I don't think. I'm not. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, it was like, it kind of happened real quick. But I mean, overall, it wasn't a huge shock. I've been saying, I think Ohio State has kind of had the edge for him. I think that was the school he felt best about, at least. But obviously, Oregon's going to play as well. So, him calling it off, I guess, not a huge surprise. Doing it that late, maybe, might as well take the visit. But I was saying earlier in the week, I was like, maybe this was a situation where, he all along, he has he knows about Alabama. He's been there before. He's been on campus back in 2018. So, he took that Ohio State visit, which he had never seen. So maybe he compared that. Maybe it was a case where having already seen Alabama maybe ended up hurting Alabama, I guess, because like he was able to already compare without coming back and seeing it now. I don't know. I'm kind of just making things in my head, but
that 2018 Alabama. That 2018 Alabama facility is not quite as nice as the 2020. So,
right.
Yeah, they've made a few upgrades.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think that was part of it, but I think Ohio State kind of had the edge for him. I think he's going to end up picking Ohio State, but we'll see. Oregon's kind of made this late push too, but I'm sure this NIL stuff has all played into these kids' decisions at this point. Who's going to be able to do that better? It's hard to even talk about it. You don't know, what school's going to offer them this, but it's like the schools can't pay the kids to come there. Like that's not changing. It's just the schools they hold your hand through I guess the process of how you could take advantage of making money off your name. So it's curious to see. Now it kind of almost feels like all this Arizona State stuff. It's like, how is NCAA even going to investigate all this stuff now when these kids these violations, I guess, but now there's payments, name image likeness. Just I don't know. There's eventually going to have to be some sort of oversight thing with all this, because right now there's not. There's just some rules you have to follow. There's not like this main kind of guidance. So it'll be eventually they're going to have to figure out how to kind of monitor this and govern this a little bit better.
Well, I think that a lot of the stuff, though, that they used to have to investigate now becomes legal. In Alabama, you have to go through a system called Compass. They have an actual system, and every deal that players have has to be brokered through that Compass platform, and there has to be a contract for these deals. So I think that if you're one of those people who deal under the table continuously, players are stay away from you now because they don't have to. You know what I mean? Like some of this may make it more honest, because now if I want to go after a player, I can simply call the university, talk to the university, talk to the player, talk to their representative, and do a deal. Where in the past, if I wanted to do something and the player needed something, I had to be the NCAA rules made things illegal or unethical based on their rule, not based on what the action really was. It was that way because it was a rule, and you should follow the rules. So I'm not saying the rules are going to be outside of that rule. Let's bring in Pat. Let's bring in Pat. Pat, you're in with Hank South. What's on your mind, sir?
Good morning, Hank. With the tight end that we just got, that is measurables, and what is his performance at Alabama was off the chart. How much of a bump does he do on your next evaluation?
Yeah, I don't want to speak for our rankings guys, but I think it's clear he's not. Yeah, he's not. I'm pulling up his latest ranking right now, wherever he's at, 492 in the nation. He's absolutely a 4-star. I think he's a top 247 kid, no question. So I think that'll kind of be the baseline measurement of how, where he could jump to. But again, I'm not sure what they're going to, when that update's going to come out, what they're going to change. But I know our guy in Florida, Andrew Ivins, seen him play like 7 or 8 times. And so, he says, when it's all happening, he's like, I've always liked this kid, didn't really know too much about him. So, I think the fact that he's performed well, he has verified measurables, I think he could be a top 247, if not top 100 kid when it's all said and done.
So you think he's going to make a top 100 kid? That was my question. That's what I think
he's that kind of talent. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, that was my question this morning. Hey, y'all have a blessed day, Martin Houston. Have a nice weekend and a great 4th of July.
Thank you. Same to you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Pat. Hank, getting back to this past weekend, Alabama, of course, you predicted that we were going to get that news, and it came through with Knobloch. Alabama make any moves, get any, I guess, momentum from this past weekend?
Yeah, I think this was a big one. Obviously, that big news. Terrence Brooks visited the cornerback from Texas, and he immediately set his commitment date. So a lot of people thought, Bama was trending, and it seemed like Bama really impressed him and his family, and then he committed to Ohio State. That was kind of weird, but that was like the one kind of thing coming off the weekend that was kind of like head scratcher a little bit. But Ohio State offered him 2 weeks ago, and he committed yesterday. So we'll see if that sticks. I don't know, but. I think they've really kind of, beyond him in the state of Texas, I think they've helped themselves with kids in the state of Texas. Amari Abor, I think that's a guy that, probably lead for at this point, five-star defensive lineman that was on an official visit. Denver Harris, I think they've had a lead for him, the five-star cornerback. I think they kind of reinforced that with the visit. Store, who's not a big offensive lineman from Georgia. He's committing on July 31st. I think Bama's in good shape for him when he makes that decision. Tyler Booker, I think, they may have pulled ahead for him, the top 50 offensive tackle from IMG. So I think this was the one weekend where, you can go down the list and be like, yeah, I think Bama's in pretty good shape for most of these guys, whenever they do make decisions. And, I think we're going to start seeing decisions pop off here in the next 4 weeks. We've already seen, this upcoming weekend on July 4th, Antonio Kite, he wasn't on campus last weekend, but, the defensive back from Anniston, he is going to make a decision. I think Bama's in great shape for him. So, I think we're going to see a huge wave of commitments in the month of June, really anywhere. But I think July is going to change. I think kids, they took these visits, they got that recruiting, process in a little bit and enjoyed it. And I think we're going to see decisions start to be made here in the next few weeks.
What was the big lineman that decommitted from Georgia? Did he end up making a visit, and where does Alabama sit with him?
He did. Bear Alexander. So he took. Hopefully we're going to catch up with him soon. He took the visit over the weekend and then immediately went on vacation with his family. That's what he said at least.
Okay.
So, hopefully this weekend we'll get a visit or an interview with him and see where things stand. But no, I immediately when he committed to Georgia back in February, everyone was like, oh, that's. He's probably not going to stick with that commitment. And sure enough, he decommitted from Georgia in June or last month. I think he had a really good time in Bama. I talked to his parents a little bit, and they were saying it was great, having a really good time. He posted that picture talking to Saban, and so he got the red carpet treatment. So I think Bama's right there. Texas A&M has kind of been seen as the favorite for him since he decommitted, and that's probably still the case, I'd say. But I think Bama made up a lot of ground. First time he's seen campus, been around the staff, so we'll see where it goes from there.
All right, flip over quickly to basketball, and then we'll let you get out of here. Are you hearing anything? Primo potentially gone. I mean, has stated that he's gone. He hired an agent. Shackelford entered the transfer portal. You hearing any news over there in terms of guys, how this round of recruits that just came in are doing, as well as potential guys that Alabama's looking at to bring in for next year?
Yeah, guys, it's been a pretty busy month of official visits for basketball. Obviously, it's not the same level of football visits just because, they obviously not as many scholarships, but, they've had, let's see, 3 5-stars on campus this month for official visits so far. One just finished up, I think yesterday, Jerace Walker, the day before yesterday. He's the number one power forward from IMG Academy. He was on an official visit. Brandon Miller, who's the Bama legacy, took one a couple weeks ago. 5-star small forward, Jaden Bradley. So they're in the mix for some of the nation's top talent. I think 2022 will be another really big class, and I'll be curious to see. Somebody asked me the other day on BOL, are there any kids in 2022 that will reclassify? And but that always happens so quickly. It's like August, and it's like, oh hey, yeah, I'm going to actually reclassify and play this year. So we'll see. That's something we always keep an eye on. Basketball seems to happen a lot more So we'll see where that is. But they're in good shape for a lot of these kids. Rodney Rice, the lead shooting guard or combo guard from Maryland, Nick Smith, combo guard from Arkansas. Those two officially visited as well. So I think this class will be up there again.
Oh, well, awesome. Well, good things happening around the recruiting world. If you want to stay in the know, it's Hank South. Tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, BamaOnline.com. Not doing a promo right now, but it's always $1 if you sign up and try it out. So that's kind of a promo, I guess. Try it out for a month, see if you like it. Hopefully stick around.
All right, and the best follow on Twitter when it comes to recruiting news, posting all his articles there at Hank South 247. Thanks, Hank. We'll catch up with you next week.
Good thing. Thanks, Martin.
All right, come back on the other side. We'll have the Alabama One Insurance 2-minute warning right here on the Martin Houston Show.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, no wrecks, traffic moving well, a bit slow on US 11 at Malisham Parkway and McFarland at US 43. If you see other conditions, just give us a call. 205-886-8886. Townsend Nissan has an awesome selection of new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Go check them out. You'll save thousands. I'm Captain Ray.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread. Good morning. Draft recommendations for Mayor Maddox's Project Unity plan are now available for public comment until July 14th. The plan covers community policing and recruitment, training and retention, economic and workforce development, education, neighborhood revitalization and housing, and youth sports and recreation. Maddox hopes the plan will bring the community together as one. Keep up with local news, sports, and weather on TuscaloosaThread.com. It's free. Don Hartley, Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
Hello, this is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. If you're looking for a way to add value to your home, make your flower beds pop, make your landscaping stand out from your neighbors, then Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing can help you do just that. They have numerous styles, but they feature the Moroccan Stone Curb series, which includes 4 great styles and unlimited color choices. That's Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. They are the one that can help you stand out from your neighbors. Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing, 205-331-6823. You may also find yourself with the need for a custom size stone or custom shaped stone. Then Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing can help with that as well. Paul Fuller and his team are waiting on your call right now for that free quote. And if you're telling them Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show told you to stop by, you'll get a big discount. So call Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing at 205-331-6823 or visit them online at Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing, LLC.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
What are you working on today? You could be helping us help customers. June is National Hiring Month, and we're hiring thousands of new AutoZoners to fill manager roles, driver spots, warehouse jobs, and sales team positions. More than half of AutoZone store managers are promoted from within. With more than 7,000 new management opportunities every year, AutoZone provides opportunity to drive your career. Apply today at careers.autozone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
How do you keep a workout fresh every day?
Clap it up, Peloton. Let's do this.
By getting everything from endurance rides to restorative yoga, all right at home. The Peloton Bike. Nothing like working out from home. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more.
I need some backup. I got to get these trucks to Tuscaloosa Bike.
Trevor's Trucking needs 3 18-wheeler drivers with commercial licenses ASAP, or his company will stall.
If we don't move the rigs before this weekend, we're going to be in trouble.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediate quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
All right, you're hot in 3, 2, 1. You got 2 minutes. I'm going to leave the music on.
All right, welcome back into the Alabama One Insurance 2-minute warning. Alabama One Insurance, we will help you get all of your insurance needs taken care of in one place. Review your coverages, reduce your premium, and relax knowing you're properly covered. All right, we talked about name, image, and likeness. We're going to dig deeper into that conversation. It's official. players can be compensated for their name, image, and likeness. So we'll be looking to see who pops next. Bo Nix getting a head start on the crew with a Milo's endorsement sponsorship right here, right now. Of course, I got a couple poll questions up. I want you to go out to @MartinHouston35, @MartinHouston35. Hey, guys, don't underestimate the popularity of little playing softball and the impact it's going to have on name, image, and likeness. Would Montana Fouts be the top paid player? Will she be in 2021, 2022 right now? Is she the most well-known, popular athlete at the capstone? We'll see. We'll talk about that. Go out and respond to those poll questions. For the Martin Houston Show, we want to thank Hank South. We want to thank our callers, our chatters, our viewers, and our listeners. I'm Martin Houston. That's Joe Gaither. And remember this, trust in the Lord always. Acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Roll Tide. And on tomorrow, join us at the same time, 6 a.m., right here on Tide 100.9 for the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama Sports. Your show, your team. Roll Tide.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and
You too,
streaming
thanks.
on the Tide 100.9 app.